Why'd you have to be so beautiful? Why you gotta have all those curves? Why'd you have to turn so many heads? I'm only asking why. Because I love you. Why'd you have to be so beautiful?
How long of a drive was it for you?
It's about an hour and 30 minutes.
You came all this way to see what?
Letters for Annie.
I heard you had a role in there.
Definitely, I was one of the soldiers tasked to go into a mission. One of our guys was under fire. We had to rescue him.
Great, great. So, any particular location you found most interesting? I heard you guys filmed over the summer.
Yes, we were up in some trails. It was so interesting because it gave you that feeling that you were deep in the woods, which kind of were. There's a lot of hiking, great exercise. Yeah.
So was that the only location?
From that we filmed?
As far as your role?
As my role, yeah, that was the only scene that I was in. Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to any other ones because of work.
I understand. What else do you do? I mean, I hear you're in theater as well, somehow.
Yes.
Word got out.
Yes, I do. I've done stage managing for a couple of theater groups, and I've also been on some shows. I actually just did 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, I did The Addams Family. I've done Young Frankenstein, Anything Goes, done quite a few theater shows.
Busy man. So the director, how do you know him?
He's actually was my boss for Konica Minolta. He was my manager. He was the guy tasked to hiring me.
Awesome. Good. All right, Ben, thank you, and hope you enjoy the performance.
Thank you for
Great. Thanks. Good to see you. How you doing?
Yeah, nice to meet you again.
All right. Good. It's been a while, but you guys had a busy summer. Where are some of the locations you guys have been to?
Oh, we've been all over Connecticut, and even in Rhode Island as well. We filmed on the battleship out there, which was really great. Had a good time, great scenes. And we filmed in Connecticut, did a couple of the after-war Tony Lombardo scenes, which were really neat, with the classic cars. So, yeah.
So you play one of the Lombardos? You explain that person?
One of the brothers, Tony Lombardo, whom was actually a boxer, and I actually used to box in the past, so it kind of flowed into this character very well. And we did a lot of boxing scenes in the film that showed his past experiences and struggles throughout the movie.
So where some stars get in shape for a particular movie, they tell me you were already in shape. And some of the pictures that I've seen, you look pretty sharp out there.
Yeah, I still box. I don't compete, but I practice. I do pretty much 9 rounds a day, 5 days a week, and I work out with weights on the weekend. So I constantly keep myself in shape.
How did you meet Joe, the director?
Oh, I met Joe through social media. And one day he was looking for cast members for the movie. I sent him a reel of a film I was in the past, and he liked it. He's seen things in me that kind of fit what he was looking for. The facial expressions, everything. He seen how I can put myself into a character very easily. So he's seen that, and I brought it to him, and he seemed to be very happy with it.
So would you work with him again?
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm working with him again on another project called Reflections, and that'll be next year.
So good. I do have to ask you though. It seems like, and I'm hearing and seeing this, that a lot of the actors on set have become not just social media buddies, but become friends.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm friends with a lot of the actors and cast and crew, and that also helps, because it develops a bond, and when you show up on set, you feel more comfortable, and it's always nice to keep in touch with everybody, because it's a small community of actors in Connecticut, and I like to see everybody getting together, helping each other. I like to help people out. If I find something, I get them something. In return, once in a while, they'll get me a position in another film. So it's all about one helping the other, and that's what's great about staying friends with all your actors.
So so you had several roles or jobs.
Yeah,
or...
several jobs. Well, one I played Lieutenant Commander O'Connor. I should know my own character's name, right? But I also did most of the fight choreography on the picture. So
that I remember a particular scene, and I call it Enter the Dragon 2. For the Bruce Lee fans out there, that's what I call it. But anyway, it good staging at least. So that was incredible. What's the difficulty in doing a stage like that with the choreograph? I believe the ring and the boxing scene.
The boxing scene was the easiest one because you had these big padded gloves, and you had the ring, which not well padded and not forgiving at all, but still good enough to take a fall on. I think the harder stuff was the more firm surfaces, like the battleship, and because we were on what was basically as hard as concrete, in there, and the other back room at the boxing gym was a little difficult too, as far as keeping untrained people safe.
As far as a location, so is there a memorable location?
Well, of course, the battleship. I'm sure everybody's saying that.
Well, from what I remember, you were touring the battleship. Not only were you working, but you were touring the battleship as well. You found some very interesting things, history-wise. I believe.
Right. So I was only fight choreographer that day. You guys had a lot to do, including speeches and conversations, a lot of stuff that that I wasn't involved in. And so when I'm on set, I have a bad habit of trying to make things better, which when you're trying to work doesn't always make things better. So I try to make myself scarce when I'm not needed.
So, speaking of work, what are some of the other things you do outside of this movie? I mean, you were involved extensively with Joe, the director. So what else do you do on a personal level?
Well, I do my own web series called The Sparrow Falling, which a number of the Letters for Annie actors are in, including Tommy Fury, who's one of the stars, but Danielle, who plays Tommy's girlfriend, as well as I think Liberty Glez played a nurse in Letters for Annie. She has a main role in The Sparrow Falling, as well as myself.
So you do writing as well, and cinematography, you do it all?
Yeah, writing, directing, art direction, the art for it, Yeah, there's a lot of places where I lay my hands down.
So you love this stuff?
Absolutely,
So you think you'll work with Joe and the guys again?
Well, I'm hoping to do something really cool on Reflections, which is the next coming up one. Also, I'd like to help out behind the scenes and make sure that Reflections turns out even better than Letters for Annie.
Awesome. That's good. Hey, thank you and good luck with the work, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Take care. Danny, I've seen you before.
Yes.
There was one location. They were filming. I think it was an awards ceremony.
Yep, at the post office.
Okay.
Yep.
So, what's the deal? You know some of the guys in the film?
I know Chris Silva, who he's actually, I referenced him to Joe because I saw a posting that he needed somebody to play a soldier, and I know Chris likes that idea, and I referenced him. And
What else do you do on your own outside of the film here? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
so I'm doing a couple of small projects, low budget type of films. I'm not actually writing or directing them, but I'm involved with some other director, and there's
Good. So you said you know Chris. I think that's the man right over there. Hey, get over here. Get in here. Right between us. Right between us. Since you guys know each other, move a little right into the frame of the camera there. Good. Chris,
How's it going?
You had a scene in the movie. I believe you're on the battleship.
Yeah, I played true character. I played Leon Grabowski. I actually played I don't want to give too much away, but there's a lot that this character brings to the scenes, and you'll see in the film. You'll see in the film when it happens. Great time on set. I met Joe through Dan here, actually. Dan had mentioned my name to Joe, and we just kind of clicked, and then I met you, good sir.
That was good meeting you again. All right.
And me and this guy, he's been doing it for a little while as far as acting, but me and him, we live close. And
Speaking of close, what was the ride? What's the commute like?
2 hours
here
for me.
Yeah, about 2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours for me. This was a nice movie to do. I'm really proud to be a part of it. You know. So I got a couple projects myself going on. I know Dan's got a few things going on, so it's nice to see each other, succeeding.
We're doing it together, so to speak.
Okay.
Backing each
All right,
other
next
up
project.
and all that kind of
That's
stuff.
good. So there's a lot
I
of.
just finished a play actually in Cranston, Rhode Island. I did 12 shows. It was called Many Sides to the Reaper. It was a true story based on a mob guy in Brooklyn, New York. So it was amazing. The cast was unbelievable. Dan came to the show. Joe came to the show. It was a great time. I'm sad that that's over too, but it was my first time doing theater, so it was wonderful.
Awesome. Incredible. Hey guys, wish you luck in the future. Everything you guys are working on.
Thank you.
I hope to see you again.
Thank
all right.
you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Good. All right, Danielle, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm wonderful. What was your drive like?
It was very easy, only 30 minutes, so
Good.
very pleasant.
So, what role do you play in the movie?
I play Natalie, Tony's wife. I'm pregnant, we're about to go away somewhere, and then we get into a car accident.
Okay, so without giving too much away, I assume you were in costume. You said you were pregnant.
Yes. It was actually funny. Originally, there was a Sully doll, but it was just so big and puffy and awkward, we couldn't make it work. So luckily, I had some towels in my car, and I was able to roll them up into a nice little bump, and it worked perfectly.
Any complications on that day of recording?
No, not at all. It was smooth sailing. It was
Weather was good?
Gorgeous day. Couldn't have been better.
I hear the colors look really good
Oh my
on you.
gosh. Oh, thank you. The photographs, I love them.
What else do you do outside of the movie? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am a mom of 4. I live in Cheshire. I take acting classes at the Actors Gym in Hamden. Recently, what did I do recently? There was Boys in Blood, and
And we can find you all over social network.
oh yeah, yes, Miss Franielle for Instagram or Danielle Francine on Facebook.
And I like your Instagram.
Thank you very much.
Okay, tell the audience one more time how to find you on Instagram.
On Instagram, it's Miss Franielle at it's Instagram.com/Miss Franielle.
Great. Thank you. It's good seeing you again.
See you
All
too.
right.
Thanks so much.
All right. Ted, good to see you again.
Good to see you too, Mark.
All right. So, what is your role in the movie?
I have a small bit part as a drunk attorney that rear ends Mr. Fury and Danielle. Their characters.
So, Tommy, come on over here. I'll get out of the way. You stand right here. Sure. All right. So, speaking of the drunk who hits Tommy, Tommy, what was your response without giving things away in the movie? You were pretty calm, I guess.
Well, I'd say I was calm, but the character Tony Lombardo, he's very protective over his wife, and what happened disappointed him a lot, and one thing led to another, and things got ugly. But and Ted played a great part in it, and I don't want to give the movie away, but there were scenes that, like certain things that he did, that really were phenomenal.
What's your story?
Personal story, I started acting about 3.5 years ago. I managed to start booking very early with Discovery Channel. Got some good and high-end, I consider high-end Hollywood training from Rod Roland, and things just took off especially once I met Joe McGee and yourself. We have a lot of great plans, but as far as acting goes, the booking's been amazing. The people have been great, and I just look forward to a fantastic future.
So I know Tommy's standing right here, but Tommy and others mentioned about the community, that it's a tight community. When you guys are on set, you end up becoming friends. Was that the case with you?
I think everybody that I've met, minus a couple, in reality, there's always a couple, we take to each other right away. We know our objectives. We know what we're doing and how important it is. There is no small project, regardless of the size or budget. So we all look at each other and we do it. We get the job done, and it was done quickly. It was done well.
Great. Any advice you have for someone who's going to do this for the first time?
Get professional training. You save money, you'll save time, and work with your people. You know, tell each other how you're really doing in reality, so we can overcome those hurdles that you don't really realize are there until you start acting.
So you guys think you might work with each other again?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You're not just saying that because Ted is standing right there?
Oh, we will.
Oh no, we definitely will.
Okay, yeah. I'm an instigator. Good. Well, gentlemen, good luck with the movie, and thanks for showing up today.
Thank you.
My name is Easy Blues from New Haven, Connecticut.
John Francis.
So when we talk about audio in any movie, it's very important. So you guys you played a role in this. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, I have an EP coming out in February called I've Got Issues, and there's a song, Where Were You? And it through contacts with Joe, who's an amazing person. He's like, yeah, I'd love to have you on the soundtrack. And I sent him this song, and he's like, yo, this is perfect. It evokes an incredible emotion. So it's going to be awesome to see. And apparently the song is used, I think, 3 times in the movie. So I'm really excited.
So would you agree, audio or sound songs, the scoring can help set a tone?
Completely does. Music's responsible for probably about 80% of our existence, honestly. Everything we have, everything we do, there's songs going on, background noise, be it in your car, be it at work, be it in the store. There's some kind of music going on.
Good. Couldn't agree more. Gentlemen, well, thank you for showing up today, and good luck with the future projects. Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. All right. So if you could tell us your name and what your role is in this movie.
Steven Stupinski. I play Mr. Lombardo, the older Lombardo, and sort of go and meet Annie and find her deceased and on her way to heaven to see all my other buddies.
Great. So tell us about the location. I thought it was an interesting location. Tell us about that day.
It was a hotel, and they sort of dressed the hotel room to look like Annie's room. And then what was nice about it is there were woods out behind the hotel, so we were able to shoot there at the hotel as well as in the woods in the back. Yeah. It's always sad when a film is done because everybody works together for so much, and then just like that, it's over. And you miss everybody. So.
Thank you. Good. Well, it's great to see you again, and I think they're waiting on you guys in there.
All right.
Sorry. All right. You take care. All right. The last time I saw you, we were on a battleship somewhere in Massachusetts.
Yes.
All right. So kind of tell the audience who you are and what your role is.
All right. My name is Yefim Somin, and I've been acting for several years now. I play Pat Lombardo, the funny and heroic guy. And I was happy to meet all the Lombardo families. Pat Lombardo served in the 5th Army in Africa and Italy. That was side by side with the 7th Army, which was commanded by General Patton, which is why I'm wearing this t-shirt today.
So tell us about, I believe you were in two of the scenes, perhaps?
No, that was really just one scene, which was about 25 years ago when Pat Lombardo was my age. And his brother was getting an award for service with the Postal Service. But Pat Lombardo is a joker, and he wants to play tricks on people. And he came up and showed all his decorations from the war and said, he was more decorated than his brother.
Okay.
And it was a very, very good scene. I liked that. It was fun. He was energetic. A very likable guy. I'm very honored to play a member of this heroic generation of Lombardo family. I also want to mention that I want to dedicate this to my father-in-law, who at the age of 19 commanded an artillery battery against the Germans, and he got wounded and he got medals, and he repelled an attack by taking over one of his gunners and being wounded. He's 94 now. He lives in Boston, and so I'm personally also connected to that time. And here is the picture of my father-in-law at the end of the war.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Maurice, good to see you again, my friend.
Hi, Mark. How are you?
Good, good. Last time I saw you, I think it was in the woods, or was it on the battleship?
It was in the woods.
It was in the woods. Tell us about the scene you were in.
Well, the scene I did was German soldier, which kind of reminds me of like the Hitler men that he had on the side. One of them was Erich and then Bormann, some guys that he had on the side for him that worked with him. But the German soldier, he was, man that was out for blood, Blut in the air. So he was out for it. So he was, the scene is with the fight with the Americans, and he goes off because it's that kind of, it's survival of the fittest.
So, quite a few people have talked about the look on your face, the expression that you gave, a very serious, intense expression that you had. And I think there's photographs floating around out there as well. I don't know if you've seen them.
A few. I didn't know that, but I didn't hear about that. I'm honored. That's great.
So what do you do personally on outside of the movie?
Outside of the movie?
Yeah, outside of this movie. What do you do?
What do I do? Meaning like personally? Like
anything. Tell us something about you. We want to know who this intense guy is.
I'm a nice guy. That's number one. I wanted to say that Tommy Fury's part with the boxing, because I'm a huge boxing fan, and that was one of my favorite parts, and I think that's going to give it away. I come from a boxing family. I have my own gym, guys, check it out. It's Clever Boxing Gym in Situate, Mass, and it's with a K, Clever. And it's named after my uncle, who was a pro fighter in the league, and in the sport, I should say. And I'm a personal coach, and it's that's what I do. I coach USA Boxing. I coach a lot of athletes, boxers for that, and kickboxers, and that's how I
didn't know that.
Well, now you know a little bit. I keep it low, but it's not too big. And I'm also a stagehand. I work for theater as well, which is behind the scenes of venues like the Garden, Gillette, any venues that come to town, any concerts, any events, and sporting events, boxing and wrestling mostly.
Impressive.
Yes, thank you.
So it's not an insult, but your scene may have been short, but it was intense, and we appreciate it. We love that.
All right. Well, whatever it takes. I mean, I'm here for the whole thing. It wasn't about me. It was about the whole, the whole pump it up with the whole project with everybody in it. And that's what I'm here for, and support the cast and the
Well, we
directors
appreciate
as well.
that, Maurice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank
Good
you,
seeing you
Mark.
again.
Thank you for this.
All right. Good. We'll see you. Okay.